What up, world? It's your boy Chuckwick. I'm back again. How you doing? I got another review for you. This time we're gonna review the homie Snoop Dogg's new album, Never Left. Alright, so this your boy Snoop's 15th album. Standing ovation for that. How many dudes got 15 albums on any level? Anyone. Any rapper, anywhere, anytime in the history of rap. I don't know of anyone that's done that on any level. So shout out to Snoop for keeping this hip-hop thing moving, keeping this rap thing moving. And I just want to talk about what I feel about Snoop as an artist for my own personal reasons before I get into this review. You know, I got to hit you with a little backstory about what I got to say about whatever. I remember when Snoop first came out. We first saw Snoop, I believe it was the Deep Cover soundtrack video. Nobody knew who Snoop was. All of a sudden, we see this skinny kid, shy-looking dude, putting his head down, rapping, but he's spitting fire. Like fire. This dude looked like he wouldn't pluck a fly off a wall. But his words is insane. This dude came in the game. I'm trying to think of somebody who came in the game like Snoop that you could relate to in this day and age. Maybe a 50 Cent or maybe a A$AP Rocky or something like that. That came out of nowhere and dudes was looking at him like, what? This dude voice way bigger than he looked. You know what I'm saying? So Snoop came in, shook the whole game up. This when Dre was trying to get back his dominance, where you knew Dre was a dope producer, but it had started to look kind of, you know, it was like, what's Dre gonna do now? Because it looked like, to be honest, Dre was in a hole. Nobody knew what was going on with Dre. There's a lot of controversy, a lot of conflict, and you could arguably say there were 2 points in Dre's life where he plucked somebody from obscurity that basically changed his life as much as he changed theirs. And that's Snoop and Eminem. Those two dudes changed rap as we know it, changed the game forever. And you could arguably, depending on who you are, put both of them in your greatest of all time list. And you would be hard pressed to find somebody to argue with you. So I say that to say this, Snoop is definitely Hall of Fame. So after Snoop got on that Deep Cover soundtrack, which was big, there was nobody in the culture telling you that wasn't the biggest record of the year when it dropped. Everybody started wanting to rap like Snoop. Snoop wasn't even counting bars. Snoop was just rapping. So then after you see that, then here comes, I think The Chronic was before Snoop dropped anything solo. So then you got The Chronic, which we rode to The Chronic everywhere. Like, dog, you ain't catch me a day without The Chronic on. Every day. Me, Los, Greg, Big Youngin, Dale, wherever we was going, Chronic was on. I mean, among other things, but that changed my life. That changed how I rapped. That changed how I looked at the world. And I ain't even smoked. That record changed my life. That's one of the greatest rap records in the history of rap. And Snoop is on that. So then you take that, you double down, you coming back. The whole world's waiting on Snoop's solo album. Drops Doggy Style. I think that sold more than The Chronic. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive. So then you got two of the biggest rap records in the history of rap. Snoop is involved with all that. Snoop drops another album after that. They signed Tupac. Snoop is on the biggest label in the history of rap music. Not even just rap music. Music. Death Row Records. You take all that. Snoop is on one of the greatest machines in the history of the game. And then it all falls apart. Pac get killed. Dre leaves. I remember Snoop on the cover of The Source it was either The Source or Double XL magazine or Vibe. No, Vibe, the saddest thing I ever seen in my life. Basically, Snoop is on the cover, basically saying, please sign me. Snoop went from the biggest rapper in the game of rap, arguably, to begging for a record deal on the cover of a magazine, saying he still got a lot more potential in the world that he want to show if he can just get out of this contract with Suge and somebody sign him. This is the equivalent of what he was saying in the article. And I was like, this can't be life. Snoop Dogg is begging for a record deal. This is where we come to in the career of one of the greatest rappers. And it was still the 90s. Snoop was washed in the 90s. Then he got signed to Master P. Master P was the only dude in the industry. Salute Master P. Because he's the only dude in the industry was like, man, I ain't scared of no Suge. Everybody was scared to touch Snoop because they were scared of Suge. Master P not only wasn't scared of Suge, he signed Snoop, put Snoop album out, put Snoop back in the game. And Snoop would tell you himself, if it wasn't for Master P, he don't know what he'd do. He got a lot of love for Master P. Master P was the first dude, I think, in rap. If you could find another dude that went like, whatever, I ain't tripping off no Suge, nobody did that. I don't care what you say. I ain't never heard nobody publicly in the 90s be like, I ain't tripping off whatever Suge talking about, this business. Because Suge wasn't playing by business rules. Master P's a real nigga. He's a real G. So he didn't care. Signed Snoop, mad money on the table. And next thing you know, Snoop is back in the game. He permed out. He's doing this thing all over again. He left Master P, went on his own, started getting into a tit-for-tat war of words back and forth with Suge, because I guess Suge was feeling away. And Snoop, probably one of the first people out of that camp. I don't know, with RBX maybe, I don't know. One of the first people out of that camp be like, fuck Suge. That's when Snoop became a real nigga out here in these streets, when everybody was thinking he was scared of Suge, and Snoop was like, fuck Suge. That's when Snoop really gained the respect from me and all the niggas in the hood, because we thought Snoop was going to be tiptoeing around Suge, just trying to eat, like, just please let me eat. Snoop was like, nah, fuck Suge. Suge's a bitch. And that's when the shit got real, when niggas like, oh shit, Snoop gonna get smoked. Like, Snoop ain't get smoked. Snoop made more money, more records. He went on his own, started doing his thing. He hooked back up with Dre for a Chronic 2001. Snoop was good. Fast forward. Snoop did all, like, he had the most outrageous career ever. He had the murder trial. He beat the murder trial. Snoop did a lot in his career. And I salute that man. That's why I'm doing this review. It ain't got nothing to do with I'm the biggest Snoop Dogg fan or whatever. I am a Snoop Dogg fan because this man persists. He will prevail. He does not stop. He does not quit. This dude got kids and a wife. This dude never ever stopped eating. Snoop on TV with Martha Stewart. Snoop is probably the, if not the first, the second most well-known rapper in the world. I guarantee you, Snoop is more known than Jay-Z. I promise you that. I promise you that. Snoop is known in every facet, every capacity. It's no joke. I promise you, he's more known than Jay-Z than anyone you can name. Snoop is a big deal, bro. Fast forward to Snoop right now, and he's got his hands in everything. He's made weed like something that is comical at this point. Like, they don't even get mad that he smokes so much. It's like they expect. I bet you Snoop smell like weed from the time he wake up to the time he go sleep, and that's his thing. And people expect it on all levels. Kelly Ripa, all these people, he go wherever, and he's gonna be Snoop. Daytime talk shows, late night talk shows, he welcome everywhere because this man is well known. I didn't like when he got into the, I'm trying to remember the little, it's a little girl that he got into a back and forth on Twitter, and he was calling her a bitch, and I think Iggy Azalea or something like that. Little shit like that is beneath Snoop. I don't like when Snoop getting these little tit for tat Twitter beefs. I don't like that. I think Snoop is bigger than that, and I like when he stays in his lane and does music and stays on focus with the music industry, the music game. Do your music. I like when he collabs with these people, these great rappers he has on here. He got Method Man, Redman, KRS-One, Be Real, mad dudes. Trey from damn, what group was Trey in? I don't know. He got Too Short. Mad dudes on here. Was Trey in the East Siders? I can't remember what Trey was in. But we're gonna review this album. I like this album. I had this joint on. I was driving 8 hours. I had wife in the car, and I just put the album on. I let it play. I didn't skip nothing. Just let it play. And I enjoyed the album. But see, me, you gotta understand me. I grew up where you can grab a West Coast album and an East Coast album and listen to them for both for what they were. It wasn't no, oh, I got to get a certain sound out of this. Nah, I used to listen to Too Short. I used to listen to Redman. I'll put on a Daz Effects, then go put on Hieroglyphics. So it wasn't about where you were from. If it's, you knew when you heard it that, oh, this is West Coast. Oh, this is East Coast. And for a minute, West Coast stuff was what it was. It wasn't, West Coast stuff didn't come out off the rip dope. As West Coast stuff progressed and they cultivated it, it got dope. But I wouldn't say the first West Coast stuff was super dope. Like, Ice-T stuff was dope, but it got better. Like, when he first came out, East Coast cats was like, I don't know, let's see where it go. Like, back in the breakdancing days and all that, we had to see where it went. And it got better and better. Just like all that NWA and Arabian Prince. I wasn't messing with that Arabian Prince stuff and all that back then. But then as NWA got better, and they seemed to phase out the people that wasn't as good, and they kept the core, then that's when NWA was nuts. But that first NWA and the Family or whatever that was, I really couldn't rock with that. But as it got on, like NWA became, Eazy-E dropped his solo joint. My man Yak ran him out like, yo, you gotta hear this Eazy-E, you gotta hear this Eazy-E. And he put it on, and I had to process it. And he left the tape with me. And I started listening to over and over. The boys in the hood is always hard. Come popping that shit, they'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. And it's like, wow, this dude is crazy. Because I wasn't no, like, real street cat. Especially at the time when Eazy-E was dropped. I was just a regular kid in the hood. I wasn't even doing all that stuff at that time. I wasn't even ready for that. But it was exciting to hear that. You know, it's like watching a movie, and yeah, you're not a fucking SWAT. You're not a SWAT team member or a military man defusing bombs and shit, but it's exciting to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're watching it and you're like, you can relate to it because it's interesting. That's how I felt about NWA, Eazy-E, and then further on down the line, Snoop Dogg, Dre, and all of that shit. Like, The Chronic was like, that's a masterpiece. So salute to Aftermath, Chronic, all that for giving us, you know, Death Row wasn't Aftermath yet, but Death Row just giving us this game that we got with Snoop, and therefore we have never left. So salute to Snoop. I'm gonna be forthcoming. I don't really listen to too much Snoop stuff. I don't buy Snoop records. I haven't really listened to a lot of Snoop. Just like with the other stuff, the other legends, I have been slacking. Like with, I haven't had a lot of KRS. I told you that in the last review. And in this review, I haven't been listening to a lot of Snoop. I tried to listen to Bush. I didn't get far into it. I listened to some of his stuff when he did the stuff with Pharrell. I didn't get that far into that stuff. But now that I'm doing more reviews and now that I'm trying to get my foot back in the game as far as reconnecting with these legends, I'm listening to the whole album. Like, I listened to the whole Tribe. That was going to happen regardless. I listened to Tribe on repeat. I listened to De La on repeat. But I just haven't been connecting with the past Snoop material. So here we go. I'm about to connect with this one. We're going to see what it is. I really, really like this album once I listened to it. And I didn't have a lot of time with this album. I listened to it and that was it. Like, I played it all the way through. I was like, I like it. It's dope. It's every song that shifted, I shifted with it. I didn't keep my mind on one. I got to hear a certain type of thing out of this. I let the music take me where it was taking me. and I went with it. So without further ado, we're going to review this album, Never Left. When I first saw the album cover, I thought it was an advertisement for something old. I didn't even know it was an album cover. I saw a picture of it. I was like, oh, Snoop just posting old pictures. He must be trying to do like a B-sides or something old. I didn't know. I thought it was like, let me put out some old stuff that wasn't on the Chronic or some old shit. But apparently this is a new record, all new songs, guest features, producers and things like that. Like I said, this is 15th release, and it says that this was shot, the album cover was a picture that was taken in 1992. So there you go. That's an old picture from 1992, California 187 sign. Snoop took that picture. So let's dive into this album. Let's see if it really feels like that old school what he's trying to portray with this picture. Let's go. Never Left. The first track off the same titled album, Never Left, produced by Mike and Keys. This shit is dope. This shit knocks. He started off right, especially for an old school lover and a hip hop head, especially an East Coast hip hop head. This is a dope ass that Wu-Tang Cream sample. They flipped it, replayed it, fucking killed this shit. Isaac Hayes, all that shit, killed this, and start this album off with a bang. You cannot front on this song. You might say some other shit on here is whatever, not this. This is a dope ass song, banger. Next song, Moment I Feared, featuring Rick Rock, produced by Rick Rock. Rick Rock got paid on this beat. This is actually, it's completely left from the first beat. It's a whole different feel. He went real West Coast, real E40 on this one to me. And he used that. It's a lot of, if you know your hip hop, a bunch of these songs take old titles. Moment I Feared is a old Slick Rick song. It was the moment I feared. He took that and made that into a hook for this song. And it's dope. I like it. It's mad short, but it's good. Rick Rock, I don't know who you are. Salute to you. You did a good job. Next song, Back in the Days, featuring Big Tradie, produced by J Massive. This song is dope too. I remember Tradie was running with, I don't know if it's the East Siders or whatever, but it's a dope song. They took that Q-Tip sample, and it's like a East meets West type of feel. I was like the Boulevard of Linden. I didn't know they had a Boulevard of Linden in LA or where's Snoop from? Snoop from Long Beach. I know they had a Boulevard of Linden in Long Beach, but I guess they do. I'm hoping that's what he's talking about. And this is a good song. I like it. Tradie got, he does his thing. An old school cat. He did his thing. So salute to Snoop. 3 good songs in a row. I mean, you gotta have your feeling for, different type of sounds, and it gotta make you want to, to shift into that mode. Because we went from, it sounds like to me, we went from East Coast to West Coast to like the Bay, so we already in 3 different lanes real quick. But it's cool. I like it. Next song, Promise You This, produced by Dupree of League of Stars. This is a dope song. It's very Too Short to me. That Too Short sound, that Oakland, that Bay area, another joint like that. I like this. I can relate to this. You can relate to this. A cat that you try to help, and all of a sudden you owe him something, and you promise him this and that, and he looking for the handout, the oo-wop and the okey-doke, and now he mad that you supposed to give him this and that, and he putting all his hopes and dreams on you. We can all relate to that. And this song is pretty much telling dudes, I don't promise you nothing, but I'm gonna promise you that you keep acting crazy and you're gonna get what you're looking for. I really dig this song. It's another good track by Snoop. And let's say this, Snoop writes all his stuff. That's never a question. I know we got this ghostwriter thing going on and who wrote what for who and blah, blah, blah. Snoop will redo a classic song, and we'll get into that later. He redoes Big Mouth, and he redoes The Vapors. Snoop did that on his first album. Redo an old song that was already a hit, a classic, he'll take it, redo it word for word, just change a few lines here and there, and redo a whole new song. He'll cover it. And Snoop don't care. He has no qualms about covering a classic hip-hop song. And, you know, with the rules the way they are right now, Snoop is probably one of the few, if not the only person, who can do that and still get the respect from the game, and people respect the song for what it was. He took Lottie Dottie, line for line, remade the whole song, and everybody loved his version because everybody loves Lottie Dottie. So everybody loves Snoop version. Everybody loves Snoop when he redoes these songs, and he gets no flack because you know Snoop is writing his ass off. So there's no flack for it, and he does that and he keeps it moving. And like, I'm gonna keep it moving. Next song, Trash Bags, featuring K Camp. I believe K Camp is out of Atlanta, young cat. This is the first song on here that sounds like it's from right now, from this era, that is supposed to blend in right with what is being played on the radio, what is being highly sought after on YouTube. This is right in that lane. It's a good song. This is a dope song. I know dudes be acting one way. You get one way or another about auto-tune. You get a cat. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I have come to terms with it. I don't care. It's just the sound of this generation is what you're going to get. When you pick up 90% of this era's rap, it's going to have some form of auto-tune on it. We had all kind of sounds, all kind of voice changing effects through our whole entire era of hip-hop. And I don't know why people acting like this is new or something strange. Go back and listen to the earliest Tupac, anything. The earliest Dre, Eazy-E. Sound effects on your voice we did that. We did all that. The making it go real low, making it go real high. Like, we did all that. We put echoes. We put robots effects. We did all that. I don't know why these cats now from the 90s, 80s, and 90s are acting like they so appalled and so disgusted with auto-tune. We had the same shit. Bone Thugs, everybody put effects on their voice. This is what it is. Music is made to be experimented with. It is made to, you can't just rap in your own voice every single time you rap. It has to be some type of variation. And right now, the variation is auto-tune. Yes, it's being overly used, but that don't mean you can't use it. And this is a dope song that Snoop used it on. This Trash Bags is probably the first song on here that you can put on in a room of some now cats and they'll flow with it. It's a good track. It's mad smooth, it's good. New school sound, I dig it. So we 5 songs in. This is all cool shit. This is not Backpack by no stretch, but it's Snoop. This is how he flows. He rolls like this. Pick the album up and this is what you're gonna get. You knew that going in. If you're watching this review, I don't know what you thought the album was gonna be about, but it's mad, it's cool, it's chill, and that's what we get when we get Snoop's. Big Snoop Dogg, salute. Next song, Swivel. I like Swivel. This is a hard track. It's produced by Rick Rock, another one that he produced, and he did a good job on this. This is one of them songs, a double entendre. It's called Swivel, and it has Stressmatic on it. But you can take the chorus for what it is. You can take the rhymes for what it is. It could either be talking about, I got my head on a swivel out here with this gang shit, this street shit, or I got my head on a swivel with some football shit. You can play this song at a little league football game and it'll mean the same exact thing. You can put this in your headphones getting ready to play any kind of sport and it'll fit that sport because it's a double entendre meaning. It has separate meanings that you can incorporate with what he's saying, and they both fit. I'm out here, I got my head on a swivel because making sure nothing go crazy out here, or I'm with the shits. Or you be like, I got my head on a swivel because I'm patting this football and I'm looking both ways. I'm making sure I don't get sacked and I'm throwing spirals out here. So it's either way. Kudos to Snoop on the double entendre. It's a dope song. It went a little longer than it needed to, but it's a dope song. A lot of cats should be using this for their football league. Next song, Go On, featuring October London, produced by Brody Brown. This is that very Pharrell. This sound like if I didn't have the track listings, I would have thought Pharrell crept in and did this. Pharrell could be going by a different name for all I know. I don't know. But right here, this sounds like they were going for that Pharrell feel, and they achieved it. It's nice and smooth as a chill joint. I got no problems with it. It's keeping the album momentum as to where it is. Like right now, the album went to each coast. Snoop is so international. He got to touch you everywhere. He got to touch overseas, the UK, and come back and touch his homies right here in America, right in the West Coast. So that's what he's doing. He's all over the map with this. But it doesn't sound forced, and it doesn't sound like it doesn't fit the album. When one fades out, you never know what the next is going to be, but it's usually in the same lane, in the same vein of some cool shit that Snoop normally does. So salute. We 7 songs in. I haven't heard no garbage yet. I don't know if you did. I saw some other guys saying there's a lot of filler on here, and that could be debatable. You could say some of this is filler, but I mean, shoot, how many songs is 16 tracks? Some of that is could be filler, but I like what I'm hearing. Next song, Big Mouth, produced by DJ Battlecat. Battlecat been doing this thing for a while. Battlecat goes back to them NWA days. I think Battlecat goes back before that. I think Battlecat was back with LL Cool J and all that stuff. Battlecat been around for a minute. I'm talking the 80s. The 80s. So this ain't no rookie you dealing with. Battlecat is game tested. And he's showing up. He's doing his thing. This Big Mouth is that remake that I was talking about that only Snoop Dogg could get away with. He did the remake of Houdini's Big Mouth. When I was younger, Houdini came out. Houdini was killing the game. When they first dropped, they had the formula, bro. They had the hood formula. And everything they talked about, the hood just gobbled it up. They had, you got a big mouth. They had Big Mouth. They had Friends. How many of us have them? And then they had Freaks Come Out at Night. They had 3 smashes. They were the people who could tour. They were headlining those rap tours, the Fresh Fest and all that stuff like that. So Houdini was a major act in the 80s, but they were cooling off in the early 90s. But in the 80s they had big huge hits, and Big Mouth was one of them. I believe Houdini may be the first platinum rap group. A lot of people say it's Jazzy Jeff, but I think it may have been Houdini. I'm going to go back and check that. But either way, Houdini was a big group. So this Big Mouth song is not a new song to me, but I like the way Snoop did it. I was listening to it to see if it really fit this new hard beat, because that song is not a hard song. So I was listening to it to see if it fit, and it flowed. He did his thing. Shout out to Snoop's Big Mouth is good. Let me move on to the next song, Toss It Up, featuring Too Short and Neef the Pharaoh, produced by DNYC of League of Stars. This is another good joint. I almost always enjoy Too Short because I know what Too Short is about. It's never too serious. I've been listening to Short since 80, I don't know, 80 whatever, a very long time. And when I first heard him, I thought it was like, what is this bullshit? But we had Video Jukebox back then and BT, and they played Too Short night and day, and that became the lick. Like, Short shit was crazy, especially if you bought the album. Like, if you bought Too Short albums, you needed a parental advisory sticker and some more shit. You needed parental guidance through them shits, because they was not for little kids. And you gotta think, I was 13, 14 listening to that shit. Too Short shit was raunchy as fuck. That shit taught me curse words I ain't even know. For real. So I always listen to Too Short shit. Like, I wasn't even with girls yet like that when I would listen to Too Short talk about these freaky tales. These are the tales, the freaky tales. Like, this can't even be true. But it was true. Apparently, the Too Short. So, salute to Too Short. I love when dudes put Short on shit and just respect what he do. Keeping the game alive. You know what I'm saying? So, this is another joint. I like it. It's dope. Neef the Pharaoh got paid too. Next song, 420 Blaze Up, featuring Devin the Dude, Wiz Khalifa, and DJ Battlecat, produced by DJ Battlecat and Mars. This shit is dope. What would you expect from Snoop Dogg besides something about some gangster Crip shit? You're gonna expect some smoke shit. And he didn't disappoint. 420 Blaze Up. This shit is a knocker. I like it because it's mad chill. And I've been a dude, grew up, never smoked. But I like a good smoke song. Put that in your... Process that shit. Like, I like a good song about smoking. I can listen to these type of songs all day. I Got 5 on it and all that cool shit from back in the day. I love these type of songs. They just mad dope. And Devin the Dude is one of my favorite rappers ever. I love, and he's the best on features. Like, for some reason, he'll steal a song from you. Steal it. Stole this shit. I don't remember what Snoop said. Devin the Dude stole this song. Wiz, I think Wiz was dope, but he mailed it in. I think this one, Wiz was like, I gotta get on that joint because Snoop asked me. And he just wrote this and did it. But, you know, it's cool. It's whatever. It's a smoke song. How intricate you gotta be. Good song. The 420 Blaze Up. Battlecat did his thing on this beat again. Very mellow, smooth. The synthesizers are crazy. This is some cool ass West Coast shit. This is why the West Coast is what it is. Next song, Lavender. Produced by Bad Bad Not Good and K Tronada. It's hard as fuck. We going back to the East Coast on this one. This is where he's taking us. He's like, yo, we're gonna go back to the East. We're gonna do a hard ass joint that's gonna get these cypher niggas, these hard heads that wanna just ride. We're gonna get back to that. And this is the only song I see that Bad Bad Not Good produced, but this is one of the hardest joints on here. I really like this. This makes you wanna rhyme. It makes you wanna get ill. And this is some weird shit that I would have rapped to back in the days when I was going through my phase of looking for the illest, weirdest samples, listening to them Funk Incorporated records for hours, trying to find their weirdest loop and looping that shit. This is right there. So this Lavender shit is nuts. Salute to Snoop for knowing he came out of the smooth lane, went back hard. He knows what he's doing. This is some veteran shit. Next song, Let Us Begin, featuring KRS. Produced by Battlecat. Just went back on some, again, they kept it right. Like this is the masterclass of laying out your album. You go this way, you go that way, you go East Coast, and you move it back to where you need to go. So he kept it right there. He put all his East Coast straight lyrical joints. He put the Blastmaster on here. KRS one of the greatest in the game. I think Snoop got a bucket list. I think he got a bucket list, and I think he's fulfilling it right. I don't think he's making these albums anymore for the money. I think he's making this to fulfill a bucket list. And you got to think he got Too Short on here, Devin the Dude. He already did joints with Wiz, but he got a song with KRS-One. He got a song with Redman and Method Man and Be Real coming up. Mad cats that I think he's trying to fulfill his bucket list. He got Q-Tip on the sample. It's just like right now, I think he's making music for the fun of it. And this is a good song. It's KRS. It's a very interesting song because it feels like they're trying to make it feel old. It's old. You ain't gotta try. Y'all niggas is old. So you ain't gotta try to be, all right, we're gonna try to make this feel like the 90s. Just off rip, you two niggas in the studio is old. So you didn't have to try this hard to make this sound like it was back in the day. It's dope. It's a good record. So I think they went a little bit, you know, trying to get it to us old heads. And they achieved it. It's a good record. So I'm not knocking the record. It's good. So I'm glad he worked with KRS-One. That's a very good look. I like to see legends get together. That's what we do this for the legends, to get their respect and to get heard, and for us to be reminded that this is a dope. I don't think this record would have ever happened in any other time in history. They're too far apart on what they do for the culture. They're just two different people. But now these guys are older. They're way more leveled. They're way more mature. So yeah, you're gonna get this record at this point, and I'm glad we got it. I'm very, very, you know, pleased with what we did with this record. Salute to KRS, salute to Snoop. Next song, Mount Cushmore. This is your Posse record, produced by Dr. Evo. You got Redman, you got Method Man, you got Be Real, and you got your boy Snoop all on one record. That's a very good look. A very good look. So, you know, it sounds like a Redman funk session. Sound like Eric Sermon was on here somewhere. Some Cool Keith shit. It's dope. I like it. Another one. Another weed record. What would you expect? It's Snoop. Salute to having these cats on here. Be Real. Everybody. I like what they did on it. It's it feel like it's 1998 with this shit right here, or 2000, right in the middle of, you know, when everything was super over exaggerated. This is it. So salute to Mount Cushmore. Shout out to Redman, Method Man. Like I said, he's getting a bucket list off his chest, and I salute him for that. Next song, The Vapors. Again, another remake. The Vapors is an old Biz Markie song. Snoop had already remade this. I'm assuming this is a remix of that remix. It says The Vapors remix featuring Charlie Wilson and Tina Marie. I'm really not into this track right here. I don't need this track. Be quite honest with you. They could have left this off. I don't need it. I'm good. It is what it is. I probably won't be listening to this. Next song, I'm Still Here. Produced by Battle Cat as well. That's a dope record. I like it. It's mad smooth and chill. Again, it's Snoop. Some good shit. Shout out to Snoop. Shout out to Battle Cat. They work well together. I ain't mad at y'all. Last song, Love Around the World, featuring Big Bub. Produced by Big Bub. Mad fucking cool. Got the Isaac Hayes feel. This is a dope ass record. It closed out the album well. I'm proud of Snoop. This is a good album. I don't know what other people are saying. I haven't really watched much other reviews, but I think this album is good. I think y'all need to give it a chance. Go out here and check it out. I give it an A++. I don't think that this is a waste of your time. I don't think Snoop is too old to be rapping. I think he's perfect for what this game needs. He fits right there. I don't know what Wiz is doing that's any better than what Snoop is doing. I don't know what any of these cats that's doing that's better than Snoop. Snoop sounds young, doesn't sound out of breath. He doesn't sound like he needs breath control. Snoop sounds like he's rocking right now. So with that being said, the end of the review is this is a dope record. Old school is back. We never left. It's the best time in history to rap right now. And I want to say subscribe. Throw me a like if you want. It is what it is. CLBMG, Audio Liquor Magazine. My name is Challz Chuckwick Brown. Peace.